So the first thing I'm going to do is my base, and I'm going to use my Expert face brush from Real Techniques. Yeah, I love these brushes. I need to get a new one soon. It's starting to show its battered stage. It's got some hair sticking out, but synthetic brushes last so much better than natural hair brushes, just from my experience. So really like this. And I'm gonna use my Dior Skin Nude BB Creme, and this is in the color Light 001. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this and top of here. I usually just use about 1 pump, so that's all I need. And then I'm just gonna go in, and I do have a, because I'm gonna be doing a really dark eye, I do want to make sure that my skin is very blemish free. I want to make sure the skin color looks good, so I'm actually gonna go in with also my True Match Lumi, and this is in the shade Warm. I think it's like W2 or W1 and -2. So what's actually very interesting is this warm color compared to the neutral color, because these have different color ranges. The warm is actually a little bit lighter than the neutral, so if you're looking for kind of a nice like pink tone fair skin color match, then I would say go for the warm versus the neutral. Cool is going to be very, very blue based almost, so if that is going to suit you better, then do that. But for me, I find the warm actually works best, surprisingly enough. So I'm just gonna make sure I get under my neck, and again, you just want to kind of make sure that the skin is looking as blemish free as possible. I do have a little bit of redness on my cheeks, and I have a little bit of redness up here, and that is just because it has been around that time of the month, so that's what happens. So I'm just going to take, this is the Radiant Creamy Concealer from NARS, and this is, I believe, in the shade Chantilly, so I think this is one of the lighter ones. And I'm just going to kind of go over any area that's showing a little bit of redness, and I'm just going to use the same brush I use for my foundation to kind of blend it in. Now I'm going to do my bronzer next. Now usually I would use my beloved Hourglass Dim Light powder, but I am not going to today because I want to show you something different. So, and I just left it over on the counter. Hold on one second. Okay. This is the Clarins bronzers that they have, and this one was their, I think it was like 2 years ago, like a summer edition. However, this thing is beautiful. It's huge. And it works really well. Because it has kind of a bunch of different colors kind of mixed into it, you don't have to worry too much about going too heavy-handed, and I've had this now for 2 years, and it doesn't look like it's even been hit, so we're gonna use this today. So I'm just gonna kind of really lightly swirl around the edge, tap off, and then again just kind of go where your cheekbones kind of naturally hit, and then I kind of use it as almost like a blush, you know, like I don't go too into the middle of my cheekbone area, but I do go kind of on that outside area and bring it up a little bit. I don't know, for me I find it works. So, and then I'm gonna go on the tip of my nose, a little bit on the forehead, under the chin. So yeah, so that is that. It is beautiful. And because I want to blend this in a little bit more, I'm going to use, this is the Real Techniques buffing brush. I like this brush a lot. It's nice and flat top, and I'm just gonna kind of go over that bronzer that I just laid so that there's no funny edges or no funny lines, all that fun stuff. So now that that is blended in, I'm gonna move to, I think we're gonna start the eyes. So I'm gonna start my eyes the normal way that I usually start my eyes, and that is with my Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. Again, just looks like this. But what I like about this is it works really nicely as a base. Cancels out my blue veins in my eyes and all that. So that's what I'm gonna use first. And I just kind of, you know, put it on, not too thick, but just a nice layer. Usually works pretty well. And I'm going to use a color. I've got actually a couple options, so I hope this is helpful. And my makeup's battered. It's used and is loved, so that is what happens. So please ignore that. If that bothers you, I'm sorry. And I'm going to start off, I'm going to use, this is my It Cosmetics brush, and this is the Airbrush Precision Shadow Brush number 112. I really do like this brush. I got this a couple of weeks ago around Valentine's Day. So far really loving it. And I'm going to do, so because we're doing a blue eye, I kind of want to make sure that we've got a nice definition going on. Otherwise the eye will start to look like a black and blue eye, and that's not pretty or lovely. So we're going to go in with a transition color, and a transition color should preferably be a matte eyeshadow. That's something without shimmer. And I have a couple options here. You want something that's going to be very close to your skin tone. So in this Bobbi Brown Navy and Nudes eye palette, I'm going to use this color over here, this one right here, and that is actually called, that's called Naked, so that actually works pretty well. You could also use, this is from my Faced Boudoir Eyes palette, and you could use this color here, which is called Fuzzy Handcuffs. So either of those would work perfectly. I'm going to go in with the Naked color first and just tap off the excess. Now I have kind of hooded eyes, so I need to make sure that my crease is actually above where when I open my eyes you would see it. So I'm almost touching the eyebrows. So we're going to go like right around here. And it's gonna look funny at first, but that's okay. So we're placing the color, and I'm just gonna go like this for a second so I can see a little bit closer of what I am doing. Okay, so you can see a difference. When I open my eyes, there's a little bit of color there. So we're gonna do the same to the other side. And the goal is to try to keep them the same. Not always easy. So, and just blend until you feel like you've blended too much, and then blend a little bit more. Really the key to eyeshadow, and especially blending eyeshadow, is the blending. So okay, so now you can see that we have a nice crease color kind of in there. Now I'm going to actually go in with the Fuzzy Handcuffs color as well from the Too Faced palette. And I'm actually gonna go right in that same area, so we're really getting some good color which is good. That's what we want. So, and the other side. If you're really nice and patient, this will look nice. Okay. Okay, cool. So that works. Alright, so now I'm gonna go in and I'm not gonna go straight to blue because I found that blue can be kind of a tricky color. Now, I want to lay something on top, or I'm sorry, below the blue so that it really pops. And to do that, I'm actually going to use, I think I'm going to do this one. So this is my by Terry Ombre Black Star in Misty Rock. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful on its own. Today, it's going to kind of act as a something like a glue to stick to the rest of the blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do kind of where my actual eyelid is, and then we're just gonna blend it in. Now these are very once they set, so make sure you blend right away. Okay, that works. And I'm going to do the other side. Okay. And again, we're going to blend. I hope you guys can see this. By the way, I'm using a Mary Kay brush. Mary Kay eyeshadow brush. What does this say? Eye crease brush. Will be honest, not my favorite. It's a little bit too bristly on the end, so only use it every once in a while, but it is still good. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this blue color from the navy and blue navy and nude eyeshadow palette, and this is going to be in the color Rich Navy. Like the name suggests, it is a dark navy color, and I want to pack this on the lid. So I'm actually going to use, like, this is a precision smudge brush, but this actually will work well. I have very small eyelids, so if I do too much, it looks funny. So we're going to go in with this guy. So all I'm going to do is start placing it on the eye and kind of just packing on the color. So I'm not moving it too much. I don't want to move the color. I just want to place it. And I don't want to go too high on the lid. I want to try to keep this on that lower eyelid. Okay, so you can kind of see right now it's looking a little like, what are we doing? But fear not, because there is a method to madness. And if you don't have this particular shade, if you don't have this particular palette, that is really okay. Use what you have, and if you don't have a blue, use a dark purple or a, you know, sort of mauvey color. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. This is just inspiration, you know. This is, maybe you wanted to play around with a blue for a long time and you just never knew how to. So there you go. All right, so now, like I said, we're looking a little bit interesting, but that's okay. I'm gonna use a dual fiber eye crease brush or eye brush from, again, Real Techniques. Honestly, their brushes are super cheap and they're really nice, and they last well, so highly recommend them. And I'm actually gonna go right in that crease area and just start surprise, surprise, we're blending. So just blend. And now you want to blend, but you don't want to smudge. And you also want to make sure that nothing is going too far out here, and nothing is falling down. So I'm also, if you look, I'm not blending it right on the lid. I'm leaving that alone, so that we have the most color payoff right there. So now I'm just going in on the other side. This probably looks really funny. Okay. All right, so now we're starting to get somewhere. So now I'm going to go back to steps like 2 and 3. I'm gonna take the It brush again, and I'm gonna go back into that naked color. And now we're gonna blend some more. Really, this is all about blending. Naked color, blending. Okay. Oh yes, look at that. It's starting to really diffuse. See how it's starting to really nicely diffuse the color. You don't see, it's like more of a gradual than just a blue stripe, so that's good. Now I want to do a little bit darker on the outer edge, again, just so we're giving it more of that effect of gradiency. So I'm gonna go in with trying to kind of mix it up a little with the color selection so that you have more of an more options for the colors. But I don't have any matte colors I think that are gonna work. So I'm gonna go back to this Faced Bordeaux palette. Now these are really great. If you do not have a Faced palette, I would totally recommend one. I've had this for a long time now, and I keep going back to it. It's really nice. Color selection is good. Pigments are awesome. So, and they have a ton of these. I think they just had a new one come out that is a peanut butter and jelly one that looks really exciting. So I'm kind of keeping my eyes on that one, especially for the spring. I think with a tan complexion it'd be really pretty. So I'm going in with this color Garter Belt, and we're gonna just place it right on that edge and kind of start tucking it down. So just like that. And I'm gonna do the other side. Hope you can see this. Okay, so now blending some more. Really is the never-ending blend game. Okay, and we're gonna, this is where I like to kind of just stand back for a second and see the color, see what I'm working with. So I think we're in pretty good shape, so I'm gonna leave it here. I'm going to now go in with some highlighting. So the first highlighting is this. This is one of those L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows, and this is in Blinged and Brilliant. These are pressed, so you do have to take off the little stopper, but these are really nice and they work really well. So I'm gonna take a brush. This is actually just a paintbrush. Use what you have. If you don't have a certain brush that's specific to makeup, then if you can use something else, go ahead. There's no rules. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of this in my inner corner. And I have discovered that the inner corner is a very, very important spot for highlight. Not only does it look really pretty in pictures, it really opens your eyes. So don't forget it. Okay, so we've done that. I'm going to put this guy back in his home for the time being. And I also have this beautiful Bare Minerals. This is from their pressed powder. This is a Sun Goddess color. It's like a pressed pigment essentially. These things are so messy though, so be really careful. I'm gonna go in again, and we're just really going to accentuate that middle area. And then I'm gonna go back to that L'Oreal pigment. Use my finger. Kind of get a little bit on there. Now, you want to put just a little of this on the middle portion of the eye. And it's going to really open up the eye and actually make your eye a little bit more round. So, now that I've placed that, I'm going to look in the camera to see how blending do I need to, how much blending do I need to do? Okay, cool, that looks good. So. Okay, cool. Well, I ended up kind of just blending it in, but that's okay. Alright, so at this step, we are done with the eyeshadow on the top. So now we're going to move to, I'm going to do a little bit of smudging on the bottom with that blue that's still on this brush. And you want to kind of focus on the outer third of your eye. And you want to just sort of match up those two outer edges. So the nice thing is that we have that inner highlight in the inner corner, so it's going to kind of stop you from going too far into the eye with the blue, so that's good. So that looks nice. Now I'm going to go in with some concealer, and we're just going to kind of take away any of the fallout that we might have gotten from the eyeshadow, because no matter how much of a pro you are at this, even if you're not a pro, you're going to get fallout. So that's one of the... And you can do your makeup actually after you do your face makeup after your eyes, but I've never been able to do that, so I just do it this way. Okay. Alright, and now I'm going to take a break from the eyes, and I'm going to do a little bit of blush. I'm actually going to use, this is a MAC sculpting powder actually called Accentuate. And this is what I'm going to use in conjunction with a little bit of the diffused heat that's still on my brush from before. So just find a nice neutral color. I'm trying to think, what are also really good neutrals? There's a Tarte blush called Exposed that I think would be really pretty with this as well. The goal is to get something that's not too overly bam, because it'll take away from the blue. And it'll take away from just the dramatic eye makeup that you did in general. I'm going to go in now with an eye pencil. This is the Urban Decay eye pencil, and it's double-sided. Works really well. We're gonna do the black side, I think, today. Usually I would stick with more of a brown, but I think the black is gonna look a little bit more intense with this. So I'm gonna do the waterline. And if you are able to do your tight line, feel free. I'm not very good at it. And by not very good at it, I don't even know if I'm doing it. So essentially you're trying to line underneath where your eyelashes are, so good luck if you are a beginner at that like I am. Lastly, I'm going to do some eyeliner. I'm gonna try to do that without phasing out this, but next I'm gonna do some eyeliner. And then I'm also gonna go in with this color Bone, and a little bit of this like gold color, and I'm just gonna do a little highlight above everything else. Again, we're blending. Surprise, surprise, we're blending. Alright, so now I have two products from Wet n Wild that I'm actually really, really happy with. Hey guys, sorry about that. It seemed like a video seemed to cut off just the end of my tutorial, so I wanted to walk through it with you real quick. Essentially what I did was I used my CoverGirl Super Sizer mascara. I lined my eyes using my Wet n Wild Mega Liner, which I'm actually really happy with. I think for a cheap alternative to the expensive liners, this is great. And then also I used a new Wet n Wild brow product. This is their brow kit. I've been using it for a couple of days. Really have been enjoying it. What I do is I take the brush that's in here, put it into a little bit of wax, put it into the pigment, put it back into the wax, and then use it. And then I just make sure at the end that I take a spoolie and kind of go through it so that it's not too intense. So this is the finished look. I use a neutral lipstick. I use a combination of Topshop Nevada and a YSL Glossy stain in, I believe it's the Coraile Aquatique. It's number 7. So that is the finished look. Again, I really hope you enjoyed it, and thanks again for stopping by. Bye!